Like, there's a lot of anti-racism and anti-police, which, fuck the police, fuck the man, fuck the system.
Coming straight from the underground?
Exactly.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anime Club After Dark, the podcast that delves into all things anime, manga, and otaku culture related. I'm your host, Alex, but you can call me Senpai, and joining me tonight, we have our chivalry of Shota Shotaro.
First things first, I'm the realist.
Our poser extraordinaire, Nitai.
Sentai is not real, you fucking children. He's a figment of your imagination. He's not real.
And our czar of source material, John.
I'm just here so the NFL won't find me.
Oh, shit. Why do you do this? Every time you say... It's either you just go, hi, or it's something fucking that gets me laughing.
I had nothing else to really say. So
I don't... So what do you
It's a
mean by
football
that?
thing.
I know it's a football thing. I was like, why is it, like, what's the joke?
The joke is he doesn't actually want to be here.
Oh.
The joke is that he likes football.
Wow.
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 He's a Seahawks fan, I think.
Yes, I am a
Okay.
Seahawks fan.
I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, tonight we are doing our Christmas episode for this year, and Natai, actually, the Jew, actually came up with a great idea.
Oh my
Wow.
I
Okay.
know.
Wow.
One
I had to
identifying
no,
feature.
I had to
Jew.
throw that in there.
The Jew. Wow. Okay. We're off to a
I had
great
to throw
start
that
in
in
this
there.
Christmas
Right,
special.
yeah,
We
we
at
are off to a
Anime
great
Club
start.
After Dark are not anti-Semitic.
As far as I
No,
know.
it's just, I found it funny that he's the one that came up with the idea for our Christmas episode.
I know. It is kind of funny.
But anyway, what we're going to be doing tonight is an idea that sprang completely from Natai's head. It's called Secret Senpai. And if you've ever done a Secret Santa gift exchange, it's kind of the same idea. So what we have done is we have put our names into a hat. We have drawn those names. And all of us listed, at least privately, all of the anime that we have ever watched that we have given a 10 out of 10. And so whoever's name we ended up drawing, we had to watch one of those anime that we personally had never seen. And what we're going to do tonight is talk about the shows that we watched and I guess give them a rating or at least a recommendation whether you should watch them or not.
So, can I just say that I kind of wanted to troll everyone? And for whoever got my list, I was gonna put like all the long running shows like One Piece, Naruto,
Funny.
Bleach. Do you know how fucked that'd be?
Also,
I know that
we
I would have known you were trolling because I know you don't give a shit about One Piece that much.
Okay, yeah, I don't like it that much anymore because it's just like a never-ending story, except not as good and less dragons.
Also,
The Neverending Story was a good movie.
Also, we should probably note that we're gonna get into some spoilers to some extent. Maybe
Yeah.
just
Oh yeah,
mild spoilers.
definitely.
Yeah, this is definitely not going to be spoiler free. So we will be saying very clearly up front what we're going to be talking about when we get to each person's anime that they watched.
Though
So
I think all of the anime that were on our list were all pretty old, like plus 10 years, you know?
a lot of them were. Yeah, there were a couple of lists that had some newer stuff on it. But yeah, pretty much a lot of the stuff that was on there was older for sure. But yeah, like I said, we'll clearly say what we're going to be talking about up front. So if you don't want to hear spoilers for that particular thing, definitely, move forward and listen to everything else.
Move along.
Yeah, move along. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Oh no.
Oh my god, there's like 9 new freaking Star Wars shows coming out or some shit.
I know there's going to be a
know.
Star Wars anime.
What?
Honestly, I'm not excited.
Felicity.
I'm not really either. but-
Honestly, Disney's just cashing in on The Mandalorian. Like, first of
You
all,
think?
no one thought The Mandalorian was going to be this good, right? Like, I didn't think it was going to be that great. I've never seen a Star Wars freaking movie, but I like Mandalorian season 1. I should probably watch
seen
season
it.
2. Oh, dude, it's pretty good. Like,
You just like Baby Yoda. Be honest.
no, I just fucking love Mando. Like, I've always liked the Mandalorians. Like, I love Jango Fett. I love the clones that are all based on Jango Fett. Like,
Midichlorians.
It's so funny to me. You've never seen a single Star Wars movie, yet you know so much about it.
thank you, pop culture, dude. Like, it's really
kind of hard
thanks
to
pop
escape,
culture.
you know? Yeah.
It is.
One of these days, I'm going to sit down with you and we're going to watch Star Wars.
Oh,
You
God.
sound like my girlfriend. She said the exact same thing.
Oh,
See?
no.
Great minds think alike. Anyway, so let's get into the first anime we're actually going to be talking about. So going first is Show. Who did you get and what did you watch?
Well, the name I drew out of the hat was Slytherin. What about you guys?
So me?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. So I got Alex.
Oh.
I did not know that you liked Fire Force so much. Because
Lies. This is slander. Fucking slander.
Because you rated the prequel a 10 out of 10.
There's a Fire Force prequel?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's called Promare.
Oh,
Promare.
fucking Promare.
Promare. Jesus Christ, say it right.
Promare.
Promare.
Wait,
You finally watched it.
I would never have watched it if you didn't make me with the Secret Senpai.
oh my god.
Wow.
I thought you would have liked it, Show. Don't you like Trigger?
I did like it, but I wouldn't have but then Darling in the Franks happened. And then no.
Fair.
No.
You know what?
Goodbye.
Fair.
And then Darling and the
Goodbye,
Franks
Trigger.
attacked.
But
So for someone
yeah,
who hasn't seen Promare, how good is it compared to the other stuff? Because I need to watch it.
What, Natai? You haven't watched it?
Yeah, it's like it hasn't released here in theaters because fuck my country when it comes to anime, you know?
Girl, you
Fair.
think I watched it in theaters?
We here at
Honey.
Anime Club After Dark do not
Honey.
condone.
We here at Anime Club After Dark do condone social distancing and remote viewing. Don't go to your
Okay,
theaters.
that's
Stay at
the
home.
best way I've ever
Damn.
heard
Wow.
pirating
Stay at
described.
home.
I respect
Don't
it. I
go
respect it.
out.
All right, respect.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it more than I thought I would. But honestly, it's very Trigger. It's very intense. So depending on what you're looking for, I can't really say if you're gonna like it or not, because like me and Unitai, we look at very different things in anime. Me and you were on a whole different wavelength.
Yes.
But I was surprised that there was like some political plot lines in there. Like there's a lot of anti-racism and anti-police, which, you know, fuck the police, fuck the man, fuck the system.
Coming straight from the underground.
Exactly. So that was that was my favorite part of the show. But unfortunately they didn't focus on that too much. It was mostly just about like people blowing each other up, which looked good. Not great. It did not look great. It looked good. But I wish they did more about the political plot lines. Yeah, so the whole thing about looking good, honey, I did not know that they got copyright permission from Lego to use Lego blocks in all of their fucking set pieces. Because, honey, this is Lego Movie.
This is Lego City the movie.
Yes.
Actually?
Honey,
Well, okay.
everything is made of Lego. There's little Lego figures, like, walking around. And then when you blow up the buildings, they blow up into little Lego blocks.
Yeah, that
Lego
Trigger-esque
everywhere.
animation with the fucking cubes. Everything in fucking Lego blocks.
Okay, but it's even worse because it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like a pseudo CG. It's not as bad as actual CG, but it's like,
It's cel shaded.
it's whatever that is. And
Okay.
I mean,
don't
that's
know.
what it's called. That style of like that art style is called cel shading.
Okay. Lego shading, not a big fan, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world. If it was the worst thing in the world, I would have chosen a different anime. But Trigger did deliver on the fight choreography. You know, even though they were Lego blocks, they were like moving really well, and there was like some really good, you know, fight moves. So I will give Trigger props for that. And of course, Hiroyuki Sawano, the Beast. I can't get that main theme out of my head because Hiroyuki
Trails of
Sawano.
fire you
I hate
always
you
knew.
so much. And also all the other tracks on the soundtrack were really good. I did watch
That
the
OST is a
Mhm.
beast.
Yeah. I think one of the first tracks that they played though was very reminiscent of Attack on Titan and Blue Exorcist, so much that I thought I was listening to a track on Attack on Titan and Blue Exorcist. And I'm like, Hiroyuki, honey, I know you're running out of creativity. I know you gotta reuse
Wow.
those tunes. But beside that one track, the rest of the tracks were really good, especially the vocal tracks. The vocal tracks were really great. What else? Oh, yeah, I watched the dub. And I kind of knew this beforehand, but the voices are just so strange because like the really muscular man has like the like squeaky voice, and then the twinko has the deep voice, and I'm like, my mind, I can't understand. Listen, but that's fine. It's fine. We all have different voices. It's okay. Yeah. I mean,
Is that it?
Is that
Okay.
all you
I
got?
could keep going, but
You don't have to. I mean, what would you
know.
rate it like numerically then?
I would give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
That's generous coming from you.
Yeah, that is pretty generous.
Honestly, I really liked the anti-racism. Honey, I'm a fan for social justice.
Oh,
Honey,
yeah.
sign me up. I was gonna say, I just find it surprising that so many anime have this like anti-racist thing where it's like, oh, we have this superpower, but everybody's mean to us just because we have this superpower. And like that's like such a common plot line. Whereas like in like actual Japanese culture, they're like super xenophobic. I just find that interesting. But okay. I will
They're
watch
trying
the
to
anime.
change it through media show.
I will. Why don't you start with the law? Anyways.
The way you described like whatever Lego City, whatever that was about, for some reason
Uh-huh.
I'm just imagining in my head Imaishi directing the Lego movie. I'm like, I'd pay.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
I'd
I would
fucking watch
that.
that. Just give him some fucking Legos. Let him do stop motion animation. I would fucking watch
No,
that.
dude, just
Oh
film
my
it
God.
playing around with Legos. That'll be good enough.
Stop.
My Legos are so powerful they'll pierce the heavens.
Oh
Okay. All right then. So
I do want to ask you a question, show.
my. Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have called this Trigger's like love letter to their Western fans. Would you consider that accurate?
Wait, in what way? Just
That
because they're not Japanese?
No. In the sense that it takes like the best elements of a lot of Trigger anime, like you said, the intensity and the music and like the never say die attitude that the main character has, and like rolls it all into like this one neat package that has like I forget the runtime. It's like just over 100 minutes long.
What? That's it?
It's like
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, I wouldn't really consider it a love letter to Western fans, but it's very Trigger.
You
It's
didn't
also
feel
very
the love.
gay.
it also
It's very-
looks like
it's-
it's super Gurren Lagann-esque, right?
Yeah, well,
Like-
the guy is Kamina.
Yeah, the guy
I
looks
was
like
about to
Kamino,
ask that.
right?
Like from the art I saw, it looks exactly like Kamina.
It is Kamina. His
It
name
pra-
is
basically
Kamina.
is.
Okay,
Let's
no,
be
his
honest.
name isn't Kamina, but
Coolest man in the world.
The manliest dude.
Listen.
The most interesting man in the world.
I tried watching Premiere. I watched like the first 15 minutes, and I just was like, I'm bored. And I
don't
turned it
blame
off.
I
Oh,
don't
wow.
blame you.
Damn.
I have thoughts about Trigger. We all know I have thoughts about Trigger.
I mean,
And
I
the
have
first
thoughts about Trigger.
the first 15 minutes wasn't enough to hook me, but maybe I'll try it again. I guess.
Do it. Do it.
All right. Well, should we move on to the next person then?
Yes.
Yee.
It's Unitai.
Oh,
look at, I'm waiting for someone to say it. I'm like,
Oh,
shit.
okay. Sure. So the name I drew was Show.
Oh.
Oh, I really thought you'd be a Hufflepuff.
Wow. Fuck that, bro. No. Anyway, so I checked your list, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this opportunity and go for something like not something I would watch, out of my own like will, I suppose. So let's take a look at something completely different.
Super Lovers.
Super
Oh,
Lovers.
no.
You watched
Oh,
Super Lovers,
honey.
didn't you?
So I picked Battery.
Oh,
Mm.
the pitcher and the receiver anime.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Pitcher
So-
and the catcher.
Sure. Would
yeah.
you mind just for a second reminding me what's the score you gave that?
I'm pretty sure I gave that a 10.
Okay. Well,
Oh, boy.
no.
Here we go. Brace.
Here comes the rage.
Show, all I gotta say is brace your butthole.
Listen.
It's coming.
listen. So I'm watching this fucking thing, and it's like few episodes in, I'm like, yeah, I guess it's an anime. I mean, it's been like 6 episodes, and they haven't played a single game of baseball. I guess that's an
It's
interesting
not about
direction,
the
sure.
baseball.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I
about
know,
the
I know.
feelings.
It's not about the baseball, sure. And then there's like, what the fuck? And then there's this like fucking bullying scene, and then I'm thinking to myself, is this why Show likes this fucking anime? Because for no
yeah.
reason, this anime just turns. It's so weird. I've never seen a show trying to be so dramatic in terms of like the story, but visually and presentation wise, being the most boring thing I've seen like ever.
Wow.
Like I've so like I really tried to enjoy it, and like for a few episodes I'm like, yeah, I mean, the music's nice, right?
Damn.
And then it's like what the fuck is that ending, dude? There's nothing in here.
It's an open ending.
Uh-huh. There's no fucking arc. Like
It's all about sad boys having angst.
Also,
Yeah.
also, what's up with that? It's like, okay, so it's about these 2 guys, and then they're like, oh, and then here's the rest of the team. None of them are like get introduced at all until like episode 8.
Listen, you can't go into it thinking it's a sports anime.
No, I didn't.
not.
I didn't go into it thinking anything. I went in completely blind. But even the fucking like relationship between the two didn't reach any conclusion even.
Honey,
It's like,
it's
oh,
all
we're
about,
mad at each other, and now we're
it's
not
all
mad at
about
each
that
other.
feeling of emptiness. No conclusion. You're supposed to be lost. That's what puberty is. It's just being lost.
Are you actually?
I know you haven't gone through puberty yet, so it might be a bit like...
No,
hard for
my
you to
my
understand.
balls dropped multiple times watching this show, dude. I went. I'm legitimately trying to understand this show, and I don't get it. Like what? I don't. I really don't.
It's the sad boys.
It's about teenage angst, man.
Exactly.
But it's not even. It's.
I get
So-
a feeling that Natai doesn't like your show.
I kind of get that feeling too. I don't know what it is though.
No, like I don't.
Hey Natai, you want to talk about Attack on Titan?
It's not. Shut up. It's not for the lack of trying, though. I really did try. I was like, yeah, there has to be something in here, right? And then in episode 9, they're like, oh, here are another like 2 new characters. I'm like, but you got only 2 episodes left. What the fuck are you doing?
Oh,
And then the final
Natai.
episode, they spend 10 minutes about fucking people in the seats. They'll be like, oh yeah, it's fun baseball. It's so much fun. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, my.
Wow.
Okay. Well.
Wait, did you watch Battery, Alex?
Yeah, I actually
Wait,
watched
who
it.
else watched Battery?
I've never seen it.
It's not good.
So I watched it back. I think did it come out in 2016? I think.
Let me
Girl.
check. It's 2016.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did come out in 20. So I actually watched it right after it finished airing, so I binged the whole thing. And I
Easy
actually
binge.
watched it on Show's recommendation, and I genuinely loved it. I didn't think it was a 10 out of 10, but I did end up giving it a 9.
Then what am I missing? I honestly try to understand what is this?
Because like show says, it's not about the sports. It's about the relationship between the two main characters.
Yeah, I get that, but that relationship, like half of the season, got silent for other characters who didn't even got time to like be fleshed out. So what's the point?
Angst.
Supposed to lead
No,
to
it's not.
empathy.
No. Like, okay, you want to like, sure, you want to like present this fucking relationship between these two boys. Okay, cool. Oh, now we're gonna talk about this other fucking school with these idiots. Okay, sure. Oh shit, it's the end of the series. It's over. It's like, what was the point?
Masterpiece. Once in a lifetime.
I think what show's saying is he didn't want it to have a point. He just wanted to see the angst.
There's
Well, no,
there's
I
literally
like-
only 2 scenes of angst in the entire show. That's it. You don't even get enough angst.
I mean, he's always brooding though.
No, he's just an asshole.
Damn.
Brooding.
Okay.
He has so many conflicts under that poker face.
I thought you were about to say you have so much in common.
Huh?
Huh.
I mean, I do, honey.
Did you get fucking belted by like a few kids from the baseball team?
I mean, I belt them, they belt me. It's a give and take, you know.
A give and
No,
take relationship.
okay.
Hmm.
Well, Natai, what would you rate this?
Oh God.
Here we go.
I think I gave it like a 4 or a 5. I don't know.
Well, that's average.
Yeah, I
not-
mean that's not the worst thing you've ever watched in your
No,
life.
it's not the
obviously.
worst thing I ever watched. But like again, to reiterate, like when I approached this show, I'm like, yeah, let's give it a shot. Sure. Like I went in with no expectations, and I really tried to like to get into whatever like fucking state of mind it wanted me to be in. But it's just I don't know.
See, I went into it mostly because show told me that I should not go into it expecting like a hugely like intense sports anime. I should go
Diamond, no
into
ace.
it.
No.
Yeah, I should not. Yeah, I should not go in expecting that. I should instead go in expecting like a slice of life type anime, just with a baseball veneer.
I don't know. Whatever like fucking angle I tried to give it and try to like enjoy it through that angle, you know, I'm like, eh. I don't know. Didn't do it for me. I was kind of disappointed by it. I wanted to enjoy it. I wanted to enjoy it, but I don't know, bro.
Is there anything about it that you actually did genuinely enjoy a lot?
The
Like
music,
the music,
no, the music
art?
was fine. I enjoyed the music. The art was kind of bland. I don't know. It didn't really stuck with me.
Oh, you enjoyed the music then. At least that's something.
I mean, you know, in prison you're allowed to smile from time to time. It's like,
Oh,
you're still in prison.
my.
Damn.
Oh my God, taking it to a dark place now.
Well,
Jesus. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Clearly, Natai was not happy with his choice.
I'm sorry.
You got coal in your stocking, sir.
That's what I get every year.
Yeah. Anyway, fuck battery.
Oh, damn.
damn. It went from being okay to nah. Actually, it's just trash. Like, okay.
All right. Well, John, what did you watch?
All right. Well, I got Nitai,
Ooh.
and I was like, you know what? He's never shut up about Baccano, so I guess I'll fucking watch Baccano.
Oh,
Damn.
here we go.
First
This ought to
problem I
be
had was
really
that this show is from 2007, and it is not streaming anywhere.
Mm.
Fortunately, a loved one of mine has it on DVD, which I watched one episode of, and then just sailed the high seas to watch the rest because I watched it at work.
We here at Anime Club After Dark do not condone pirating.
We don't. I don't. But hey, it's from 2007 and it's not legally streaming anywhere. And good luck finding a fucking copy. So,
The DVDs are out of print too, I think.
yeah. So that's why it's like good luck. You know,
Yeah.
if I had a CD player at work that I could have played the DVDs, I may have used it. But anyway, made in 2007, made by Brainsbase. I watched both, like an episode in dub, English dub and Japanese dub. I don't like the English dub. Like,
Really?
Wow.
it's not
That's
bad.
a very
so
unusual opinion.
the English dub isn't bad, all right? It's just it kind of irks me because they get a bunch of the accents wrong, where it's like someone's supposed to have like a New York accent, and obviously they don't. They have a Brooklyn accent, and it's like I hated that. And then there are some characters who don't have accents at all, even though they're all in the East Coast, and it doesn't fucking make sense. Anyway, I
have a rebuttal, but never mind. Keep going.
Oh, okay.
No, keep going.
The story is all over the place. I didn't really enjoy the fact that we were just like time hopping. Like literally we have 5-minute segments in like one time in like 1930, 1931, 1932, 1707 or whatever the fuck the ship episode was about. And then like even in the same years, they skip to different timelines. Like they'll show like something that happens in the exact same year, but it'll be in the future that same year. And then the next moment they'll show like fucking 2 years prior, and then they'll jump forward back to the same year that we were just at, but like earlier in the year. And it's like, why are you doing this? Why are there a million characters? Like, holy shit, they were introducing, like Natai said in episode fucking 8, they were still introducing people, and I was like, holy shit, there's like 5 new characters that I don't even know about. Like, who are these people? Also, there's like a million fucking stories you have to follow, okay? Like, holy shit, there's so many characters, so many stories, so many time skipping POVs, and overall, I thought the show was alright.
I would like to say John
What
is 100% right when he talks about how massive the cast is. The cast for this anime, for what, it's like a 13-episode anime, I think?
Wait,
16
has
even,
a massive
also,
cast.
Also, it's 13 episodes, but to even get a little bit of closure and made it better at the end, you have to watch the OVAs. You have to watch the other 3 OVAs that only come with the DVD. So if you stream this, fuck you, right? You had to buy the DVD. So that's really shitty, but that has really nothing to do with the actual anime. But I wanted to say, all the characters that are in the show are fucking introduced in the opening, and it's a minute and like 35 seconds long of just character introductions.
It's so fucking good, the opening. What are you on about?
Listen.
Dude, the editing in the opening is fucking amazing. Come on.
I liked the ED and the OP. I really liked the ED. It was really good. Like the little calm music, and then like it looks like crap because it's 2007, you know? Like I honestly wasn't expecting very much in terms
It's also Brain Space.
And it's also Brain Space. But I really liked the scoring. The OST was good. You know, I love the jazzy like dun 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 dun.
The jazz really helps you get into the period that they're in when they're in the 30s.
Yeah, and like
the music is amazing.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like it for the first like 8 episodes.
Whoa.
It was rough getting past the first 5, my dude. Like, if I watched this while it aired, I would have fucking dropped it. Okay? But I got to episode 8, and then, like, they were showing more of Firo, and I was like, dude, I fucking love Firo. Like, I like this guy.
Firo's amazing. Yeah.
He's super cool. Everyone else was kind of like, eh. Like, I also did not like the quote-unquote main characters, Isaac and Miriam, because they're like just so annoying. But then
there's so much fun.
Well, see, because your first instance of them is like at the fucking mines where they just repeating the same animation, and it happens over the course of like 2 or 3 years or something, and it's the exact same animation, and it's just dialogue for a straight different 5
costumes.
minutes.
Different costumes.
Yeah, but it's the exact same animation, right? And like I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't care. I don't know who these characters are. They're kind of annoying. And I was like, I don't care. And then the whole train thing, then the fucking there's so much going on. There's so many characters. Oh my God. They had so many sub-arcs, so many subplots.
Mm-hmm. I feel like, and this is just my personal feelings on this, that I feel like there definitely is in the light novels this is based off of. There's enough material to have like a 35 or 38 episode anime and still not tell all the story that could be told.
Yeah, like there's just so much context missing, and the fact that it jumps POVs and stuff like quite a lot, and it's different character POVs in different timelines.
Yeah, and there's no one real main character either, because you're constantly jumping around to who the story is focusing on.
And what I fucking hate was like the very beginning we have freaking Carol and the vice president guy. I watched it in Japanese, so every time he pronounced Carol, he went Carol.
It's a fucking great scene.
But it's a good voice. There are good voice actors in the show, right? Like they've got freaking like even in the OVAs, Gintoki's there or Sugita's there, and he plays the fucking crazy guy. And it's super funny, and I loved it.
Oh, the wrench guy.
But yeah, the wrench guy. That's Sugita.
Yeah.
And then you had like I fucking hated Jacuzzi. He was the guy who plays Shinpachi from Gintama.
Jacuzzi? No. Is that the
Jacuzzi
guy who's
Splot.
like
Jacuzzi
always
Splot.
scared?
Yes,
with
the
the
crying
stomach
bitch
scar.
baby.
My favorite character.
Oh my
Jacuzzi's
God.
great. You're supposed
he
to think
was
he's
so
a bitch,
He was so annoying. He was a whiny little bitch baby.
but then
Oh
he
my
becomes a
God.
badass.
Yeah, and then he becomes cool. But anyway, there's like so much going on, and I honestly I wish it was like more condensed, and I followed like only a couple of storylines, like not fucking 15. That's a little bit much, you know. And each character has like their own little arc, and like there's like not enough information. Like there's one scene where there's the immortal. All right, so there's immortals, right? They're like
Yeah.
fucking Dio's in it, and he fucking comes back, and he's like, haha, you thought you could kill me, Jojo? And he's a literal immortal vampire, by the way, and he's voiced by the guy who does Dio. So I was just like, oh my God, it's literally
Yeah,
Dio.
he hasn't been typecast at all, has he?
Nope.
But he was super cool. You know, the, what are they called? The Luck Brothers or some shit?
Yeah, Luck
Gandors.
Gandor. You're
The
talking about.
Gandors, yeah.
The Gandors
Yeah,
are great.
Yeah, I like the Gandors. I wanted to see more of them, and all we get is just like the Dio guy just having his overtures and just talking a bunch. I was like, I want to know more about the Gandors, though. They seem like a really cool mafia group, okay? And I like the mafia stuff with Firo, and I like the immortality stuff. That was kind of interesting with fucking Salazar,
Yeah, Salazar.
and
Ennis.
what's the other? And Miser.
Yeah. Maiza is
Yeah.
the glasses guy.
Yeah,
So-
with Miza, and I fucking hated Elmer. Holy shit! It's like fucking on the boat, right? Where Salazar's like killing everyone, and then Elmer's like, "Just smile, smile," and I'm like, "Elmer, shut the fuck up! He just killed like 8 people, man. What is this smile bullshit? Elmer, I hope you die," and then he drowns, and I'm like, "Thank God."
It's like if someone looked at Tony Soprano and said, "Just smile, man."
Anyway.
So
Despite all my problems with this show, after watching honestly, if I didn't watch the OVA, I would have gave it a 6 out of 10 because I was like, it's just too confusing. There's too many things going on. But after watching the OVA and getting a little bit of more backstory, I was like, you know what? It's pretty solid. It's a 7 out of 10 for me because I do like the music. I loved how every time the scene got hype, like when we were fighting Rail Tracer or like an action scene happens, they played the opening song, the dun 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 dun, like the jazzy. I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting into it. It's setting the mood. Let's go. And,
what did you think of the Rail Tracer character?
Okay, I really liked him. I loved Vino, dude.
I
was
know,
just
right?
Like basically, if it was just the the immortal thing and the mafia thing, I would have fucking loved it. Like. But it's because it does the jumping back and forth thing. It ruins kind of a lot of the surprise. Like at the very end when we're with Firo and then Salazar decides to just destroy everyone. But I was like, wait, I know they're immortal though because fucking Dio gets killed in the first episode and Firo gets killed in the first episode and they revive. So I was like, obviously they're not dead. Like. Then why would you do this? Build the suspense, and then Miza's like, "Oh no, my friends are killed again." And I was like, "Wait, but Miza, episode 1, I saw your friends revive. Ergo, I know there's no like real threat here, right?"
So
and also, I had a giant problem with the fact that Vino and the other guy, Firo, they fell in love with the girls at like first glance. Like they didn't know each other. Like, Firo falls in love with the homunculus girl, Ennis, right? And he literally just saw her for a split second, and, like, he's automatically in love with her. And then for some reason, she's trying to make sure that Firo doesn't get hurt when Salazar is going down, trying to fight with Miza. And she's like, no, I'm a homunculus without emotions, but I have emotion now. Firo, don't go. I don't want you to get hurt. And I'm just like, when did you get emotions, bitch? Like, what?
she had
Okay.
them all along.
And yes, and I get that we did understand that she started getting emotions when she first met Isaac and Miria. And by this time, I loved Isaac and Miria because I was like, they're supposed to be overly goofy on purpose. And it's just hilarious that they're like super mega thieves and they're just like stupid. And they keep being, they're just able to steal anything because no one takes them seriously. And then they just take shit. And it's so stupid. and I love it. Fucking this show was a fucking train ride, man. Joke,
Literally.
Pun intended, yeah. It was a ride, and but then the whole Vino with Chase, yeah, Shane, yeah, that whole like he falls in love with her, and he's just like this fucking superhuman mass murderer. Oh, I'll never die type of dude. I was just like, dude, I want to know more about Vino. Like, what the fuck? Or was his name Claire something?
Claire Stanfield.
Stanfield, yeah. But I just call him Vino because that's what he's called as the assassin, right? Or rail tracer.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's just so much going on. I had so many problems with it because like the whole thing with chess, like we get 5 minutes, 15 minutes, no, not even 15, like 10 minutes to know chess and about his backstory of like, oh, he's immortal, and then the person who's supposed to protect him is like torturing him, and now we're supposed to feel bad for him. Like, I'm like, you don't have enough development for me to care, chess, okay? And there's just so much. There's too much to explain, not enough character development to explain anything, and it kind of just jumps all over the place. And overall, it was a giant mess, but I loved it because I was entertained.
What would you
All right,
rate it?
I do have to ask though, how many times did you laugh after hearing the flying pussyfoot?
I laughed every single time I heard flying pussyfoot.
Flying pussyfoot.
The best train name in the history of cinema.
Yeah, I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10 after watching the OVAs. You have to watch the OVAs because without the context of the OVAs, you really don't get any closure after 13 episodes. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, everything kind of just happens.
That's why I always tell people, it's like a 16-episode show. Like, you have to watch
for
the OVA.
sure.
Also, like, really quick comment on, like, the show. All the things you state about, like, different POVs and how it's jumping around the timeline, that's one of the main reasons why I fucking adore this show so much, because it gave me so much, like, wait, hold
There's
on.
so much shit
what the
going
fuck is
on,
going
and-
on? Yeah, there's so much shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I get it.
slowly,
And
like,
it
trying
forces
to
you to
piece
pay
it together.
attention.
Exactly. It's slowly
Yeah.
trying to piece together the whole story itself. Was a lot of fun for me. And
Yeah,
I
like-
think this was like, yeah, keep going.
That show does a lot of things where it's like they'll play like a random scene that you won't understand the context of, and then later on they'll give you the context and you'll be like, that's why they showed that scene. Like when what's her name, Eve Genuardo,
Yeah.
when she's at the dock, and then she's like, Dallas Nissan, and she's like, there's something picking up stuff from the bottom of the ocean. There's no context for that, and you don't know why that even happens until the fucking end, where it's like, oh yeah, your brother, he took the immortal serum and we tossed him into the fucking ocean because he killed our buddies. And I was like, yo, so that's why they put that scene there. What the fuck?
And then, like, that's the cool thing, that they put that way at the end of the show, and then throughout the show you get these small scenes of other characters interacting with her brother, and you're like, oh, he's a piece of shit. I wonder what's gonna
fuck
happen.
that
with him.
guy.
And it's like,
I
oh,
fucking
he's just
hate
in the
Dallas.
ocean. Yeah, Dallas is a piece of shit.
Yeah,
But
and-
yeah, I fucking adore this show. It's
But the most egregious offense to me was at the very end, where they literally, the directors, the writers of the show, literally slap you in the face with, hey, a story that makes zero sense and doesn't have a definitive end, why is that even good? And then vice president's like, Carol, don't you understand? There's infinite possibilities. It's up to you to make up the conclusions of yourself, to find the story you enjoy. And I was like, and there's no real main characters. And I'm like, this is just a slap to my face. Like, first of all, I like structure, okay? I like structured movies. I like a plot line that we don't deviate too far from. But this entire like series was opposite of what I enjoy in a show. And yet I still found it enjoyable enough to the point where I'm glad at least I finished it. And like if I abandoned it at episode 5, I would have hated this show. But after I wrote it all out, it turns out it wasn't that bad.
well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too, because I really love Bakano.
Yeah, it's so fucking good.
Also worth mentioning, you can actually see Isaac and Miri again if you watch Durarara.
Are they in Durarara?
They do have a cameo appearance in one of the episodes, yes.
I can't wait.
Is it made by the same person?
Yeah, the
It's
light novels are written
yeah.
by the same person.
Oh,
Also,
shit.
the same studio to some
Durarara.
extent.
Same studio, Brains Base. Well, at least for the first season of Durarara.
But then the same staff sort of broke off and continued Durarara.
Yeah.
Durarara.
Durarara is just a better version of Bakano.
Whoa, okay.
I mean, I love both. but
I'm
That
curious to watch it
explains
sometime.
that explains why I didn't like the beginning of Baccano, because just like Durarara, I have to give it like 9 episodes before it gets good. Like,
but
come
it
on.
starts to make sense because that's when a lot of the stuff comes together around episode 9 or 10.
This explains so much about why I didn't like the beginning. Well,
This is the way the author writes. The author writes his stories in reverse, man.
I just fucks with my mind with the whole like structured thing, and I guess it's unique, but I hate that type of perspective. Like if you've ever seen that American, I guess it's not American, that Western show Lost. Have you guys ever heard of it or seen it?
Yeah,
I heard of
yeah,
it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, well, in Lost, it has like 1 million characters and 1 million points of views and 1 million things, and it all like somehow intertwines, and that's what Baccano was like. So that's why I was like, I fucking hate this. Just show me the goods, man. Like, I don't give a fuck about this one guy that makes a minor fucking cameo in this person's life. Who gives a shit?
To me, the fun thing, aside from like the structure and like sort of engaging with it, was that I really enjoyed the massive cast. Like it's one of these shows that the cast is just filled with like super charismatic people. Like some of them are just like, you know, fucking insane, like Isaac and Miria, and some of them are just super fucking cool, like Firo and the like the guys from the Mafia. It for some reason this show, like the energy really reminded me of Bebop, which is another show I fucking adore. And I don't know, there's something about these fucking sort of, what word do I even use for it? Like these sort of really charismatic anime that there's something about that I get drawn into them. And yeah, the structure itself is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the soundtrack. It's fucking amazing. And there's so much stuff there that just like, it feels like it's like perfectly suited to me, at least. It's like exactly what I'm looking for in shows.
Yeah, it's opposite of what I normally enjoy, which is structure and, you know, linear storytelling, things that make sense. Like, you can have callbacks and stuff in linear shows, and that's fine, but it was just so all over the place. It just felt like a hot mess. And honestly, the payoff, I wouldn't say was 100% worth it because of how much shit you have to sit through, but the payoff was still pretty good to see everything connect and intertwine. And like, there are moments where you see a scene and you're like, oh, I know this scene. I know why this happened. So that thing in the past happened that I saw earlier. Oh, that makes sense. Like, that's cool. You get to piece it together. And again, I just, the music's infectious. Yeah. But they kind of reuse the same like 3 tracks. Like, there's the main opening song. There's that sad piano piece that they keep playing at the heartfelt moments. And then there's the caution music that they play whenever Rail Tracer is fucking
Ray Tracer.
Ray Tracer.
RTX.
RTX ray tracing. NVIDIA, please sponsor us. Yeah, I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would, and it definitely didn't live up to the hype that I was believing it to be, because, you know, you guys wouldn't shut the fuck up about Baccano. So, but it wasn't bad. At least I enjoyed watching it, and I didn't want to blow my brains out at the end.
Well,
think
that's certainly good to hear.
For both Alex and I, it's like in our top 10, right? Almost?
Yes, it is in my top 10. It's actually my number 10.
Yeah, for me it's like my number 1, so like it's hard for me not to
Oh.
gush about this
Oh,
fucking
wow.
show. Yeah, it's my favorite show ever.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, ooh, and I'm just trying to shit all over it.
Nah, I don't give a fuck.
All right. Well, that just leaves me, and by process of elimination, you can all figure out that I got John.
Okay, awesome. What did you what you pick?
And well, I want to say going into this, it was very difficult because there were only 2 options because everything else in that you had rated 10 out of 10 I'd seen.
Yeah, I figured. So I remember I asked that question because I was looking at like your list, especially Alex. So I was like, we have a lot of crossover here. Like, I've seen a lot of the shows that you list as 10 out of 10, and I do like them genuinely. So I was like, this is gonna be kind of difficult if we get each other. I wasn't concerned about.
Your list was probably the shortest, I think.
I don't have a lot of anime I absolutely love. Like,
And of the ones you listed, the only 2 that were there were Karas and 5 centimeters per second.
oh my god, you haven't seen 5
Wow.
centimeters per
You
second?
haven't seen 5 centimeters
No,
per
I haven't,
second?
and that's what I chose.
Oh my god,
You have
good
never
job.
seen this?
It's the only Makoto Shinkai movie I have never seen.
That was my first Shinkai film, and
Same.
Dude, Makoto Shinkai. Goddamn.
Bruh.
But yeah, that's what I chose. I chose 5 centimeters per second. It's also the shortest thing of anything that anyone picked, at 65 minutes.
Yeah,
Easy.
it's very short. It's a very short movie.
Short and sweet.
So, for those who haven't seen it, I mean, 5 centimeters per second is not a typical movie in that it takes place in 3 very distinct parts, almost like vignettes. And they each follow the same main character. His name is Takaki, and it's basically following him through different parts of his life. The first part takes place, I believe, in 1994. The second part takes place in 1999, and then the second part takes place, or the last part takes place in 2008. So it's kind of showing him going through his life, and it revolves a lot around the themes of relationships, but how time and distance can make them wither away, and that before you know it, you look back and you realize, holy shit, all this is fucking gone, and I didn't even relish it while I had it.
Yeah, and for those who don't understand the title 5 centimeters per second, that's how fast the universe supposedly expands, right?
Isn't it
yeah,
referred
and
to
it's
like
also
leaf or something?
huh?
If in the movie they say like that's 5 centimeters per second, it's like related to like sakura flower leaves or whatever.
Yeah,
well?
the first part, it's related to sakura blossoms because that's roughly the rate at which they fall to the earth.
Okay.
5 centimeters per second. I like how in the second part they also kind of invert that because they're watching this like piece of machinery move a rocket down the road, and the one girl looks at the main character and says 5 kilometers per hour. And he's like, huh? It's like, I think that's only how fast it can go, 5 kilometers per hour. And there's like this double take, and I'm like, that's a really good example of a callback. But the thing I love about it, I mean, it's Makoto Shinkai, so it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
The art, the animation. I will say, like, it looks like this is made on a budget, but even so, it still looks great.
Backgrounds
like-
are fantastic.
Oh, they are. And actually, there's a lot of really clever use of light and shadow throughout the whole thing, especially in the first part, where it takes place in the wintertime. And it's like there's a lot of snow. It's very just dreary and drab. And it's like you feel depressed just looking at it because of how shitty it looks outside.
Almost
I
like
fuck-
the seasons reflect his mood.
Whoa! It's almost exactly like that because the first part takes place in winter, the second part takes place at the end of summer, and then the third part takes place in spring.
Yeah,
It's fucking great.
It's a typical Shinkai film. Like, get ready for the feels train, and there's like no resolution either. So it's like, I remember when I first watched 5 centimeters per second, I didn't like it because I was just like, he doesn't get the girl, he doesn't get the happy ending, right? And I was like, fuck that, I hate that.
He doesn't really get anything. He quits his fucking job.
Yeah, he kind of, because he just lives life and things just slowly start to drift away. And it's just about that, about how you can just slip up and next thing you know, you're fucking 35, single, and in a dead-end job. Like, it's very depressing to think about because of how realistic it is.
That's how relatable it is to a lot of people, too.
Yeah, but that's
then
also
it's
why
also like
it's-
about how you move on from that. That's like the whole point of like the end.
Yeah,
Which is kind of
and that's why
beautiful.
it's such a beautiful film because it's like,
Yeah.
you know, you'll always regret stuff that you have not done in the past, and things that you don't cherish, but it's also like you shouldn't be thinking about it too much, you know, like don't dwell on the past, look forward to the future type of deal. And you know, it could get better, it could always be worse, you never know. And it's a fucking Shinkai film, man. Go watch it. Who hasn't seen it?
I can't believe it took me this long to watch it either.
Yeah,
What you
I
think
really
of the,
can't believe
like
it.
what you think of like the last part with like the song and stuff. Because for me,
The
that's
song
like,
was
for me, like
phenomenal.
that whole last section, especially when the song hit. That's like that. This is for me at least what puts the movie even over. It's like, oh, this is fucking amazing.
Fucking
Oh
hits
yeah,
you.
for sure. Like it's like the first time. Well, not that I realized it because I'd watched stuff that Shinkai had made after this, but looking back on it, because this was the second, I guess technically this counts as feature length.
Yeah.
film that he made. The one that he made earlier than this was 2004's The Place Promised in Our Early Days. Highly underrated movie. I definitely recommend everyone go watch that.
Yeah, like 5 centimeters per second definitely is what put Shinkai on the map. Like,
yeah,
it's the one that blew up because everyone's like,
And
yo, what the fuck?
like if you look at The Place Promised in Our Early Days, it's like he was still honing his craft a little bit.
Yeah.
But then you get to 5 centimeters per second, and he had almost like perfected everything he was trying to do. And then you get to like The Children Who Chase, Lost Voices, The Garden of Words, and then By Your Name, he had 100% cornered the market on what he was trying to do.
The absolute feels train that the god Makoto Shinkai is.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing that I loved about this the most is it's a very mature story in that it's a very realistic depiction of what happens to relationships over time. And when you add distance in there, how much they just disintegrate.
Yeah.
Fucking depressing.
It is depressing to think about because, like, no matter how close you are to someone, like, if you move away and you never see them and given enough time, you're gonna grow apart from them.
Also,
it's just
that
the
whole
nature of
train
the
sequence
beast.
is so fucking, like, anxiety-inducing.
Oh,
When
are
he's
you talking
trying to
about
reach
the
her on
first
time,
part
and
where he's
it's
like,
just
it
not
takes him like
happening.
18 hours to get to where he's going?
Yeah.
And no, the part that got me is where they stop in the snow, right? And he's not even at a station. They're just stopping in the middle of
In the middle
somewhere
of
because it's
nowhere.
snowing so hard outside, and he just leans back in his seat. And then he just very casually takes his watch off and puts it in the fucking tray. It's like, I don't need this anymore.
So, what would you score it numerically?
Okay. I wouldn't say it's quite a 10 out of 10. I would give it a 9 out of 10, though.
Okay.
There's some minor things about it that did kind of bother me. I do wish that it had some kind of resolution, but I understand what he was going for. It's like, that's the nature of life. There isn't really any kind of resolution until you fucking die.
Yeah.
But and then there was some animation issues here and there that kind of made me think maybe they were doing this on a budget.
I mean, it is an earlier film. Like, it's...
Yeah, it is. It's 2007, yeah.
Yeah.
And it still looks really fucking good. It
Oh,
still holds up.
yeah. It's still, even by today's standards, it still looks really, really good. It's just there's parts where, and you'll see this like in his later films, where this doesn't happen. There's parts, very emotional parts, where the characters' faces just disappear. And I'm like, what the fuck, Shinkai?
Ran out of budget!
Like, this would be a great scene for some, like, really nice sad eyes or, like, pursed lips, and you're giving me nothing.
Zoom out, panoramic view, emotions, turn on the choir, the strings.
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. The fucking music in this is, it's great, but my God, it'll make you want to hang yourself.
A little bit.
Oh my.
The soundtrack.
Like,
It will. Like, it's that slow melodic piano music, especially in the first part. Oh my God. It, like, Jesus, I wanted to just go find some hemlock and drink it.
Jesus.
Damn.
Yeah, it's definitely...
That's the beauty of this show. Like, it pulls out those emotions in you.
I definitely think if anyone wants to watch something sad and depressing, go watch 5 centimeters per second.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I mean, if you're looking for something that's happy feel or, you know, has a good resolution, maybe don't check out 5 centimeters per second because you're gonna hate it.
Or if you are depressed.
Yeah, because I remember I didn't know anything about it when I watched it, and because I had a friend who was just like, "Oh, you need to watch 5 centimeters per second." I was like, "Okay, I'll watch it," and I watched it, and I hated it. Absolutely, I was just like, because there's no resolution, man. Like, it just hurts. You're just like, I hate this. Why? But as an adult, as I grew older and I rewatched things, like I did with Gurren Lagann, you come to understand, like, that's just how the world works, baby. It sucks.
Also, just like the gut wrenching thing at the last bit where they're crossing the train tracks,
Yes.
and he says he realizes that he's just passed the same girl that he had a fucking huge crush on in part 1, and he thinks, I bet she's thinking about turning around right now. And they turn around at the same time, and the train goes by. And when after the music plays, the train goes by, and you realize she's not even there anymore. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
Dude, I think
Why
Shinkai
could
gets
you
off
do
on these moments.
Yeah. Oof, I feel a strain.
There's a lot of symbolism in this movie too, about just a lot of stuff that references moving on and stuff just ending.
I feel like that's all Shinkai films, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of symbolism involved in all the stories that he weaves and tells.
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about symbolism about all of it being about ending. I'm like, well, your name certainly isn't about that.
No, I'm just saying that Shinkai has a craft and he's perfected it, and he likes to use symbolism a lot in his shows, and a lot of like foreshadowing and how he tells stories and stuff like that, and how he interweaves it is just like a genius, because I don't know how he just always is able to pull at your fucking heartstrings. He just is. He's just gonna rip your fucking heart out.
Like, the guy is obsessed with like relationships and how distance can affect them, like throughout all of his movies.
I feel like he's been hurt very badly in the past with a relationship.
Maybe.
He has I think his first like thing he worked on by himself is like a very short OVA called what was the name of it? I don't remember, but it's pretty much about like these two like friends who one of them goes out to space to fight with robots or whatever. Doesn't matter. And the whole like gimmick of the like OVA is that both like this couple, they communicate with each other using like text messages, but because she's in outer space, like by the time the messages she sends get to him, it's been like a few years and vice versa. So you have this like very fucking depressing sort of passage of time of these two people still trying to like remain together, even though their lives are like going in completely different direction. Voices of a Distant Star, that's the name of it.
I was gonna say that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's really fucking good. It's short. It is rough around the edges, but yeah, check it out if you're interested.
But I would definitely, I don't think it's necessarily a 10 out of 10. That may change. I might watch it again just to see what I think about it. I might watch the dub, because the dub is available on Crunchyroll. I don't know if it's any good. But I definitely would give it at least a 9 out of 10 for now.
Okay,
that may
nice.
change. All right. Well, that's it. That's our secret. I almost said Secret Santa. Secret Senpai. We should do this again next year. I kind of like this. Although we might have to change the formula a little bit, because if I get John again, I'm only going to have one choice.
We'll pick the worst shows from each list.
Yeah, we could do the worst.
Oh, that would be great.
Oh god.
Who's ready to watch Future Diaries, boys?
Come on, I would love to.
Me too. I didn't hate it.
I loved it.
I liked Future Diary. I thought it was all right.
It was good.
All right. Well, thank you all there for dropping in to listen to us. Check the description below to find links to Anime Club After Dark on Twitch, on social media, and on Discord. Check out our merch store and our affiliate links as well. Any purchases that you make there do really, really help us out. With that, I have been your host, Alex, and we will see you next time. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy holidays.